Masinja Tama Cheche Tunda Nyo Nyo Yang Taba Zobe Sanje Kubo Rubu Chichi Yang Toba Cha Te She To Tambe Che Nama Taba Sen Nyame Kono Cheche Wana Leba Se Tone Sambara Shu.
So first we have to set the motivation and the proper motivation of the bodhicitta, and thinking that one is taking these teachings as a means to attain a state of enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings.
다 senje chuge samde cho chugulam shi shu tsar kasin ta tabari shi ode ta je da de shu de ta gang lo ni bu ya wu yu ji re sang du den ji ba che ta ni ba ba du long go lam che de la sung le sia de ji ze me sung de za chen bu yi za za we che ru che de yu ma ya ba de long ro de be do cham jar la dong yo re dong be ma li she ba ne dang jiang wu shi tu ji zhong shi be ba re sung le ya de so the
last time his Holiness explained the first transformation, the transformation of the death into the state of Dhammakaya, and with the 8 signs that one experiences, and this process has been explained many times, and so it should be quite clear to one's mind. So now the next one is the transformation of the intermediate state into the state of Sambao, and in this connection you find the words which has been spoken to this great master by Tara herself, and so it goes up to a part where one actually visualizes a green syllable tongue. So His Holiness will first give the formal reading of the text, and then followed by explanations.
Sanje na penji kone ju le ngo su si den ja chemo me jo na we che je ko le lo ju zu ko da ma ja wa nya do to ni ji wen za ma shi wa ngan de sa ji na me ru ya da ngo wa la ngo wa na la the da ra ngo wa so ndo sha da ra se le yu so bam bang jiang gu yi te li ji zhong de de shuo le be man de ma ji we de wa ran sin we de dong ge yo zu na dang yi jiang gu yi te ji zhong wa ra sam Tella de Longo de Ngawina Donga Jen Jogo, the Ri, you go to Longo and Dava, Majin Jova Maya, Travco, Yavish and Longo, Maje Jova, Yana Yeshe, Rana Live Trobe, Jason Raji, Mangiva, so many Jordan, Megobar and the Jika, down to Rinji, Jalu, Rubico, Tedara Sangova, Yimba, Son Juli, Jomo, Sumba. Najiva to Shivelam Chene, Taniba Badolon Shivelam Chetela, Badun Rolo, Bado Lu Chamu Yellow, Bado at the Canada of Chiame, Shango Yori, Badolongo, Teresani Bado Tudu Savage in the Giori, Lomakashin Tabu Jemishir Dundodo. Though the Badu Tudu, the Chakachi Demamone Yori, those in the Juda Yori. Kashan Nibamone running Zergbet Tumbo. Yori Gandari Ibe, Padu Nudi Bado at the Canayume, Yahuji Shana, Tijana Aras Shidia, Che, Padu the Moshe Rojana, Padu Jita Miwata, Chidat Padu Gijun Tovaji Yunguri, Darin then the Jebusum and do, Timan Shomu.
So the as regards the second transformation of the intermediate state into Samakaya, that there's a lot of things that one actually should study to know better, to know precisely, and how this intermediate state is being achieved, and it is subtle nature, and there we have this very well-known text, the Paduttudo, and which you find actually about half of this is quite true, and there's also certain exaggeration you find in that text. But whatever it is, actually one should know precisely how this state is being achieved, and in what manner that one goes through this process of achieving this state. Because if one knows this, then it will make a difference. at the time that one actually goes through this state, and then one will not be so much affected by the fear and the fright which one faces, and also thus one will be able to transform, one will be able to make use of the virtues that one accumulates through the practice. So that is a big difference.
Badu longo goya de badu ke sang dong go ma le gong du chiu go gong du ma ba ne shi chi du ke sang dong go ma de dan tun go de ma do gong du ye gen je wu sang je ye sai longo gong go de ma do ne ji du de gong go ma de de za badu sang lo ma do ma che dan da chu go ba chu go le de yo le chu go le de ne chu go sing ye be sang je ge tu yi shi ba yin za yi shi chu go de sang je ko na ge je yu le su ji ge do tu go ma le ye ba ma sung du yu du che tu go ma le de ma to ba za si je ge de ga ne je to ma to ba yin de chu go ji go che ne si je ge de ja chu yo me da zu ji go ji dong ne ne zu go ge si je de che tu go yo le si je ge yan je ji yo le de le za zu ji go long je zu go le dong go sam be pen yu ji dong ne ane to be ma le ma le be ma sa te ma de sho so pen ba de le ji dong
so His Holiness says that so when we come to meditate on this second transformation of the intermediate state into Samakaya, we don't have to think it like that one actually is going through the Pada process, and only that we are transforming it. We have to think of the actual state of Samakaya, which we are going to attain in the later stage. And also the same thing applies to the first transformation. When we transform the death into the Dhammakaya state, we did not have to think about the death process. It's only we have to think of a certain similarity between the actual death and that of the final transformation of one's death into the state of the Dhammakaya. And so now while remaining in the Dhammakaya state, it is not possible to benefit a greater number of sentient beings, because in being in that state, only the Buddhas themselves will be able to contact and see each other, and ordinary sentient beings will not have any direct contact with someone who is in that state. And so therefore at this particular state, one should first generate the motivation to take another form of a Buddha, through which one can benefit even more the sentient beings. So first you have to have this motivation to arise yourself in the former body of a Buddha.
Tombe ngale sajina mejuya da ho la te dan jamba tagu de ne osi da bema da ubala che che wala tisun da omen jasu chimu se atere ali dambu padu longo lang che ma dong ko na padu che wala sa ge phama phe la chu ko daga na je padu roya ge shingam de khe la chu ko da chu thun che ne ali saji de khe la sam tong wa saji sam tong ya de mejuya saji ba rang tomba ni jingani yoga le 다 오기 타지 미루에 사지 호딩이 이제 미루야다 사지 타지 미루야다 호와스 라테단 잠바스 잠부 사지가 방그즈로 미루야다 호와 라테단 잠바.
So out of that so while being in that emptiness, that by maintaining the understanding of the emptiness, that the first one arises in the form body, then one has to have the parents, and as well as the type of land, the type of field in which one is going to take a rebirth. So in a similar way, that while remaining in that state, in emptiness, you have to think of the ground, of the field, of the land in which that one is going to take a rebirth with form. And so thus you have to think of the ground, which is the ground made of lapis lazuli, and very smooth and like soft and smooth like the palm of a hand.
我才是第一个说我们家属干了当我们家属去些，出征他多没见吧？我们家属的那去用怕出用看怕这个出蒙古去，出征多没见，当时是就叫他做执行的嘛，昂把这个他这个呗，准备加那么他说个呗，家属那执行的吧，还叫个呗，啥叫结果上东过的，我这里去上路东呢，也的去。
And so, so you have to think of the great milk lake, and with many little sort of rivers in between, and sort of very pure water, sort of essential water, very pure water, and a lot of the water birds are in those lakes, which are also the very emanations of the deity herself.
他第一届的帮的白马他阿伦的为经过去顶多是一个帮的白马是没当过的白马是八的人，对了体力间的特别送的一张帮讲过去特别一种，对我都说了白马的嘛结巴去，第一对外说让个心，这种个一些个说那么引爆了一当一讲过去种。 当一讲是特别重上好他得了，这对就龙国我一上边几生者嘛，上届几生者们龙就做不过我一上边我先说，当一得了我先说说。
So then, in that ground, then all of a sudden, a green syllable palm appears, and since the letter pa is the very first name of the lotus. And so you have to put a circle on top, so that makes it a palm. So that also then makes it complete the unity of the method and wisdom. And that syllable, that green syllable tam, dissolves into emptiness, and arising out of that emptiness, at petal lotus. And in the center of that, actually, the wisdom, one's mind of the great bliss and voidness arises in the form of a green syllable tam, and for that you should take the pride of being in the Kakaya state of the deity.
리 그스데 롱고는 셰다 차다 쳔비 제바 롱주 주고 최선 순위 비제 제주 제바 지어래 땅위의 얘기를 봐 군인 저거 말이 레디는 참몽이 받은 자와 이서 롱주 주고 고대 참모래 봐도 류대 참모래 미 말아서 미시게 동구여 말이 롱주 주고 고양한테는 장신 다살라네 장신 파박이 마도 수지우 니랑 수인은 제 두고여 말이 참몽이 뭐 송아래 So
actually that syllable tam, from its appearance, from its outer appearance, does not have any similarities from its outer form with that of the form of a Samakaya, because Samakaya form is being endowed with all the great physical qualities, such as like the 32 major signs, and as well as the 80 minor marks of a Buddha. So from that point of view, there's no similarity. But from the side of the subtle nature, these two are quite similar, and also the state of the intermediate state is also very subtle, and so therefore from this respect, there is great similarity between these two, and so that state of Sambokaya of a Buddha then cannot be seen by ordinary sentient beings, and even those the great Arya Bodhisattvas then actually could communicate with one who is already in this state of Sambokaya form of the Buddha.
Television true to Niger New Yons Juba Ubalong Damji Sambashi to Jerusi Yae, to Niger Sad Ubang Damji Sambashi Rejuji. 재산들라 양가 시가 도바지고요. 오바 롱고 담지 쳔바데 바도 롱고 치외 랑시 인거리. 대 인고야 돼 몰롱나라 오베 담지 쳔바 라미베 바도 지제 롱고 토버쇼 송도 와세 라마르 보시기주 라마 요새 니게데 찌데 소자 지게요. 요르데 되데네 말해. 몰롱도 요야 돼 패칠 당시도 지금 송 인버요. 뭐 몰롱 야고 요르데 야고 요르데 디주르게 오게 되지 인루마도 야 자네 자 초고요 인루마도 라마도 참 요새 니 송데 지선도랑 송데. 대인산데도 같이고요 요 말해. 야 바로 롱고라 우바담 지sem바 지기이나 텔레 오제 주도니 제야데 바두베 바두게 룡아 바두 자원을 짓다 자고시 되네 마임바 바도데 녜도 쇼네 녜지 내가 메르모 라소바 야 림바진도 패고 인자 녜지 내가게 더 내가 마요 어디 다천지 이머다 되네다 알리 마우셰 먹고 땅이 되라 롱고고이 삼방가 제송 다 어두다 지어시라 고무고래 드라니 리기요래.
So so it says that the sadhana says that from this syllable, from this green syllable tam, then from that emanate a lot of rays of light in all directions, and fulfilling two purposes. And finally, all this rays of light will be gathered back, and then that transforms then into a lotus utpala, lotus. Blue utpala lotus flower adorned with the syllable tam, and so there has been certain discussions about this utpala, the visualization of this utpala, and some have said that this visualization of the blue utpala flower should be actually the transformation of the powder, the intermediate state in the Samakaya form. So there's a lot of discussions about this, but according to the explanations given by the great master Samakaya and his disciple, since their teaching, their explanation is based on the words which have been directly received from the Tara herself, and so that word should be more sort of authentic word teaching, and so therefore in that context it is not explained as the transformation of the Padu into the Samakaya state. And so therefore you have to understand that it's said that only when somebody is conceived in the womb of the mother, then that child must get through 5 different stages of development, and it symbolizes the perfection of that stage, while one remains in the womb of the mother, going through these five stages of development.
dāngā jīng sōng yā na yīshī yī rāngshīn jācchō jī yīshī yī rāng nāng lī chūpa jācchō jī rāngshīn jīg tō māngī bās sācī mūrū yā sācī rāng chū tāng tsō tāng chitā mālā bā jī yīshī yī rāng nāng lī chūpa jācchō jī rāngshīn jīg tō ngī bā mē bā bē nāng bā nā tsū sū chā rā rū sōng yō tāng tē yāng nī zē lī sōng nā nē jā lī yō gu chūpa kō sā sācī tī nē sāng shōs tū yō ngā sū dā chē lā mūrū yā tā sā nā tā mā tī ndā shō sōng yō yang jalu yogu drupa kala kanga jasan la san tong gore ne hon tu se lu da pe zo jasan rang gu gu yo tere ka te da de je la yang te gore de je la yang jasan yi rang jen si tin san de je de jong ge ka nda bu da she ra drupa ka nda bu da ha da na jen ge jasan men de je ru ne da ju de be ka nda da se la da jasan rang jen tin de ne de ge yo yi ma da ha tu se da
So it only says that sometimes that one has another alternative. Instead of visualizing those milk lakes and so forth, one can out of this emptiness, then one can arise in the form of a syllable palm, and from that then at the antepetal lotus, and this is the arising out of the wisdom, which is very much like the rainbow, which does not have any true entity. So this visualization is only to be applied according to the words of Tara herself, when somebody achieves the light body of the rainbow, that is of a certain very high stage of completion, then one has to always arise out of that state of the rainbow body. And also that sometimes when you sometimes in the connection in the visualizations connected with the generation stage, and as well as sometimes when you develop special type of wisdom, one has to apply this visualization of arising oneself in the rainbow body of a deity.
Yonso Jivalerani, Yonso Jivana Samani, Chiji, Jancho, and the Dayan Jungu, Choga, the Medamano, Chidayana, Jesu, Dini, Chogaji, Chavade, Julia Sumba, Sabi, Chasena, Telecozo, Javan, Chogasunji, Jesu, Chiman, Niju, Sonche, Somani, Mojanga, Jeju, Pado, Longo, Chetai, Nakaraja, Laranda, Kamaji, So, Shuba, Sone, Majiji, Lamsuda, Tumba, Shelam. Son da na ba so ju da ja jong ge kong da de ma ga che ba yin no de ko de ju lam ji ju jer de ran su je ba ma yin ba re ni ju ta mo ma yin be re ni ji ti ju ji song she ne ge yong do me se song she na je ba to ni je je ji sen di su ko ba ni la ti ju ji che ba pe gu le ra ju le ba ju ji ja ma ju ba ra ju le ba ju ji ja ma ju ba Majo bare che bai ma de je cho ni bu gang ge bu ni che jang da we ting do ra ni zhe mo pa ma ba ma ko yong so zo ba Churbachi Jardo Jenny Rigise Deba Jeremy Chindru Lotara Cha Tetabu Pamiko Deya Tritan Double Limu Chumburuko Double Navaja Mayba Kola Shari Nantu Soja Mela the Major Kondon Dabu Tonra Gonga Dabu Kondon Mayba Uji Ranjiko Danshin Sewa Koyana Taja Uja Kim Shan Serva Barwe Me Hon Luji Sundu Darabo Mugu de Valley Kondon Church Colame Shadru Chajame Nakalan Jason Church Tomaze Jida Dua Long Le Jame Meluji Sundu Batabu Mame Seji Nudu Jabatabu She So Somba Daro Koyana Tedabo Sewa Zamji Jam Shuba Dingazi Juli Dingazi Jibun Dole Tijawa in the Koyana She Badam Tomata Tabaji Jamo Gonjana de Sinjur Babanjur She So Sumatar Sa to Sami Shi the Deshi Soya La Juju Zaji Maro Chujim Tilling when it was Taiwan Zimbe Pamon Suni to Sango so Petting Del Jun Dru Tole so Pecher to Messiah Iva Good Lijimal Irin and Pendent She Sumbachero Donga Gangi Lola Yang Sanjavana Kojia and Ruba Yan Diriko Son Rinji to Jeva Gonji Mega Sale to Sanja Lutan Java Mai Tedaroko Son La Jalan Sonda Chutun Jursu Shi do Yovane Melave de Dream Melave Jiri Chimba Shiva Java Niba Niejo Jayala Nelson Jinji Lavan Son de Tejo Shiba Hong Bo Shiba Barade Darani Ziba Siva Collegina Giordana, Codogina, Kemo, Ungavanda Masun, Yoga, Ama Togato, Mejebe, Hong, the Gugina, those of the Daye, Madaye, with Sambara, some Sumane, Sonle, Toga, Tamil, Shivane, Zambao, Shibe, Barjud, Najebe, Toga, Daily was a true division, but Jen, Gushin, the Arajichu, Nimela. Yeles, when of a gent about the Longish, and a gent about them. 你来当我的一些进小就可以讲的听小姐什么的，沟通我因为都双位，都就搞的就可以吃吧，因啦的呢送酒杯，原来的那送酒杯，都就搞些的可以吃，上酒节前边马些边去买去，前边搞些的可以吃呗，让给你老少，那个多么来着？真当家村老百姓都去过因留宿就过的什么的，让给他们拉说吧。 上街他们就去收入基本一些的人就是这么年纪给过来，那么对于那个兄弟就不能没，你把的我们说上街就现在人家的上街日日都管人家，然后给个那么的人什么些别就是这种年纪给过见证，对他们家记得几个数多，吃上几多就把对于那个让他写这个数的就把没完弄，对你刚才讲让给没完当对你讲。 这样有时候我们当这个记者嘛，现在这么对那个长的，也过得多，你们把我说嘛，我吃下去，年轻些吃就当说现在做么当着了，吃也确经济，吃也对那，我对这个不把我那么提前都觉得喜欢什么，这个那当然搞完那个，对些我来这个不嘛搞不，现在今吃的是，年吃的我当中就这边这边不嘛食不，做多了那些什么吃这边不嘛。 塞不，或者说嘛，出家就年轻，现在一出个bom吧，那么不，今天送节嘛那就，送节嘛那就是出吧，就你儿这边不嘛不，现在突然吧那么出呗，现当吧，现在人家都不bom吧，对当咱就呗，那么那春节就是对吧，春节前人呗吧，这个就不吧，公交送春家嘛，干么些，干么老师打了吧，就吧，他就不吧。 对的，今天我都对嘛，吃不上钱，对就不嘛，我对就不嘛，不嘛是嘛是怎么的，嘛是不嘛是不嘛，这现在吧，现在喜欢，嘛是现在喜欢，嘛是这些堂姐就不嘛，没得人吧嘛，我都嘛不喜欢这些么钱，送这吧送不嘛，春节前那么就是，那么春节就是又不给了那个不嘛，喜欢钱不。 karmo she deva shewa jibe buma re ba hone de ma marmo re nga phewa jibe buma jide so yo ko gung jin da je shima tro yen jibe re nga no ba jibe buma to she shime se je ma da wa tar kar she kar she shiwa to ne se buma zo ba da ma nga ba se ka zo da ma nga ba se ka se ma karmo 동의 세세 bomba rine se wa ma se rine se bomba chile yungzu jienze bomba da ma kar mo ta su su bomba na ba nam se wa ra mi ne ne ju bomba ma de shi ba ne de be do da ju shi be ya la de ma be ne de cha se ne ji ma ga ma de shi le che na cha se ge si gong ri sa ma so de ma ni ji se na se de da de le ma mi ji le ni su de ran da ni ba ri che de ran la timar sam 냐대안에도 도자가 도자 찾아와니 유자지지 소마다라 차세니지 뭐니 자가마지 도바 제비 자베가 제비 도바다 차세니지 마지도 제베 로당 야 차세니지 말리 로소 자가마지 도바니 호모 차세다리 조모 밤모 나 돌아다 도다라이 지보 고즈들이네 나 담제 도나 타제 어디에 소 얘기질라 언데 제반데 따라 제대 수제베 로장 당고 마디 사리 zambe doba dijenle chibe nden shi sumbe 마디 사르네 종 고마 루사 데베 제제엘라 대손의 중에 도바니 동be 제바 오나 너무 아르다리야 레제 제고 제고지 칠레 시소다 조도 모두 마디 사르시 자와시 시 sumbe 네 이제 내가 지좀 파마라니 장 가지 칠제 메레 소모녀가 네 소녀마 도만 비시 sumbe sombo dumane sajibuji jo yongda tarada sombo nyangama yongda sombo nye sume den do onjin sei sajina chi jari sombo zhangso zhangwe nyanga wo de de song de xie ji yong xie so je su de da somme cha yong jiu ji san sen de zen be jiang ji ba so yong da da zhe me ni ji wo de shen zu mo la tian zu mo za xie rang de da se ba ji wo ru yi xi ba me den do me zi ba da wo hong xi be yi xi ba dan se ba su ma tem jia ma de ba me lo na zu ni 샤와 메노다 조니에 마리바타 보다 초나도 오물루 와리시 마리바타 보네 발라 밤시 다시보다 20번 탐차 타제는 리바 오마 초 리바 주바나 드 참수제네 이메도 리베이메 소소르 자르메 바다보 호시 바 20번 다시보다 제제도 주리제마도 이보도 미레바삼 이번에 손례라 두고 서면 우제 시반에 오벨라 나자다니라 티모레 주로섬 시베데 라리아 두고 서면 우제 주바메 소주 오벨라랑 코나지가 제라 주이소 나다베 남바나 나나 라소베 예옹에 원고르베 곰바데 제마라소베 용에 온게베 자반데 뉴스 주르 원고르베 지마다 최라마 지도 시바용 지발라마가 요 이제진 온갈라나라 야 테마사만데리 리다 오바 멜란세바 베메리 임바투미 체도리 라리지지 더바 멤버 라마가 메디지도도 고르니 쳬바소 람제자와 신예데지 예네 더바 예노 자주지 거지르마 베메리 제 용도 제장 라미지 거데리 페지네 루베리 레손제바 마베데 야도 루베리 소자고바 이나냐 장 코연디 시 가슴 쥐어버면은비 차신 장배 체르데 내가 나지 제번 저지 니버전에 무슨 저들 니베 난줄 라솜 야 다니루 연라 지스야디 주부치 연라 발할리 제용도 니루 연라 지리 니루 연라 지스야데라 니베 연라 할 제야디리 라할 제야디年入节了，对了，年数结婚的吧，头发红色，年数一个送过我的年入节了是，一些把见长的天下的主白人了是，往过记得节把的主亲节了是，这样了，一不得年入人了也是，别年不得看这个年入人了，就成为他公司的对着。
So here one speaks of the four branches of the practice, and the first branch is where one arises in the complete form of the deity. So that is the first branch, and the second branch then is with respect to the generation of the three syllables in one's body, and the third branch is the inviting of the wisdom beings and absorbing the wisdom beings into the body of the Samaya, the body of the Samaya, or the commitment body of the deity. And the fourth branch is inviting the empowering deities and receiving empowerment, and as well as the crowning one's head through the lord of the family. So these are the four branches of the practice.
당위 정고 되라 롱고 이 삼명가 제송도 여러 되게 다 로제 조베고 신년에 네방아데리 뒤준 대예자 장신 파바마도 수지우근 이제 두고 말이 녀도 파바게 이제 두고 말이 녀도 녀랑 라주마게 이제 두고 말이 근데 인자 수지고 연제주매와 인도 공개 수지고 동호 순제 두고요 말이 근데 인자다 로제 조베고 라네나니 수지고다 녀랑 예마토바 인자 신제 마다베 신제 냐타 우투 동해가 나와도서레베 무엇을 시다편 도구면도 대이나 신자 사마로기 제토야게 주고 라베 주고 중고도 삼에 상로때도参加 팬바도 되리
So at this particular moment that one remains in this in the form of this green syllable term, and at the same time that taking the pride of being in the Samakaya state of the Buddha, and which has 5 features, and one of them is that while remaining in this state, only the Arya Bodhisattvas then could communicate with one in this state, and not even the ordinary sentient beings cannot have any type of contact, and know those the superior ones of the Sarvaka part, and even the Arhats then cannot have any direct contact or communication with the one who is in this state of the Sambao Kakaya. And so therefore, in order to benefit those who are in the impure state and who are under great sufferings, to take a form which will be visible to every sentient beings. So in this way that one has to awaken the proper motivation to take a gross form of an emanation body of a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings.
다 세제가 돼 라베 주고 송고 섬에 팬바디 동원에 당위들의 의제추 당위들의 의제추 되니제서 되니부터 거래서는 랑드신 되니제 제대로 거래선 신제 탐지가 디리자 밤에 고pon라고 랑드 거래선 상제 탐지를 최반비 젤로수도 당위를 팀 어디 랑드 젤로도 메바 젠도 디리자 메바 스니제
So after generation of this particular the motivation to take a gross form of the emanation body of a Buddha, then again a lot of rays of light emanate from this green syllable tongue, and this fulfill 2 purposes, and one is the purpose for oneself, and others the fulfilling the purpose of others, and the first one being that one through the rays of light one makes the offerings to all Buddhas of the 10 directions, and then gathering all the blessings of those Buddhas into oneself. That is the fulfilling the purpose of oneself, and to fulfill the purpose of others is that through those rays of light all the sentient beings of the 6 realms of life are being sort of touched by those rays of light and completely purified. All the negative imprints and all the black karmas and all the unwholesome actions are completely purified, and bringing those sentient beings to the state of Tara, placing them all to the state of Tara. So in such a way that you fulfill the 2 purposes.
That's so do there was a patru sin dirija was a su dugure sanjela choba pimen chelo tanyani su dugure patru chenche su dugo yare te za so ndu yundu tamwi te yonsu jone obala tamji tsembashi de jurujo obala me to ge dewa ngena le ige tamwi yishile juru son samaje so to show le rani jimas ta obala te tamwi da be 강과 의그 공부지기도 주로받이 용수적을 란지선 주목을 주소온 삼바죠.
So after those purposes are fulfilled, one has to collect back all of those different rays of light which one has emanated out into the 10 directions, and all this will be collected back into the syllable term, and then this instantly transforms into Utpala flower adorned in the center with the syllable term. And then that all of a sudden transforms into the complete body of the deity.
marge se rimbuchi seala yu nima chen marge re yore se chi yore kandar imbe janguchi re rimbuchi marge singe di ndo no je kondo marge no je jangu
one's body at this time is the color. It has the color of the jewel called markid, and it is said that the turquoise, when one keeps it very long for a long time, then it has the color of this jewel called markid. So anyway, that one has this green, sort of the green color of the body.
Ada mage shen jamba sheji chani she gwa min do ta ha gu ru ba o de ne shen te da be chi zu ma zhe ge go ra ba su jiu su ge jie tu ken ra be zhu gu de ngai yi san ba san jie ge chu gu long gu zhu gu su yu sa ge zhu gu de ngai yi san ba nga jie zong san jie zhu gu yi lu ge de su gu do chang gu xie ji cha ni ri mu chi jin da ri jin na sa cha ye cha ni ya lu gu u ba len zin de ba cha ni ge u ba le de ni ge te de ka chi de ge
So then after arising into this complete body of the deity with one face and two arms, and wearing all of these different jewel ornaments, and holding two utpala flowers, and which open at the height of one's ear, and adorned with all the major and the minor marks of a Buddha. And so at this point that one should take the pride of being in the emanation body of a Buddha, and a body which is visible to all sentient beings to benefit all of their different wishes and so forth.
Tandi choga sungje siya dire, je chode. Je ringe la je lo de choga sungje, geji zhungje, ngojang aje, doje yije, je lu yi yore. Geji zhungje ngola choga samala geji ge siya ji je ya chin do. Choga sungje siya de ali dobo sabyon le je. Sabyon odo shone chachen le je. Deya la le je chigri. Chen ni dobo dam yi le je. Dam de odo shone ubala dam ji semba le je. Deya ji zun roma le je dan choga sungje re.
So this is called the triple sort of generation of the deity. It went through three processes, namely the first that one is in the form of a syllable, and then it was transformed. In the second process, it was transformed into the instrument, which is the Utpala flower adorned with the syllable, and in the third process, it was completely generated. It had sort of completely arisen in the complete form of the body of the deity. So therefore, it is the triple sort of generation. And then there is sometimes another instant generation. We call instant generation. That is the one that you have made at the very beginning of the sadhana, one arising instantly in the form of the deity.
다제 코로나 요마리 대매와 장모장 아제디베 시자부시에 나니 니도 가부 말이 진도 가부야 말이 시랑고 그래디 모장 아제 딩조 나와시지 내주 만나래 제부시에는 모장 아제 코 나와시 요래.
So here it is said there's one way of generation, there's one way of generating oneself through the five manifest enlightenments. And although it is not directly explained or is written here in the sadhana, but it is very much similar to arising oneself through this five manifest enlightenment, which you find in the long sadhana of Chakrasambhara. So the arising oneself within the context of the five manifest enlightenment then is with respect to the five wisdoms of the Buddha.
사드부 도르부 세드부 초드부 라드부 게드네베 빙무가 남바체네 공로마 말이.
So anyway, that whatever tradition or the process of generation that one follows, anyway that one is arisen in the complete form of the deity, and is something that is lifeless, such as like a body which is made of from ordinary substances, like from earth or from the rock, or which does not have any movement, which does not have any life, and one shouldn't sort of visualize in such a form. Nor the body of the deity which is generated now is like a flat body which you find on a painting or in a tanga. So actually the type of body that one arises then has the 7 features of the god and goddesses being in union, and it is a body which is the union of the pure illusory body of the Buddha, and as well as the pure clear light mind of the deity. So these two are completely united. It is a type of illusory body with the 12 great qualities. It is a body which does not have these ordinary substances, like the flesh and the bone and the skin and the veins and the joints like that. Nor it is an empty body, like a hollow body. So it is a type of illusory body of a Buddha, which is with many different qualities, such as like the 12 great qualities. It is a type of body which is made from the light of a flame, sort of very radiant and very living sort of form.
Baba Jurus Sanje Tenlu Koya Sanje Koyimba. Two young Same descent Ishi descent Yaji Yode. Sonya La Tuju Gune Sun Chube Kanla Consang Sumbe Kanla Consang and Roll Sulbe Sung Big Chu Dun Jemba Yimba. Chile Ko Sun Tu Yune Chile, but someone saw they came. What did you go?
So it is said, according to the King of the Sutra, King of the Sutra of the Meditative Stabilization, it is said that one has to visualize of a deity, like oneself arising in the form of a deity, or like the one visualizing a deity in front of oneself, the generation in front. Anyway, that one has to think of the body of a Buddha with all of those different qualities, the major qualities of a body of a Buddha, and even with respect to the mind with 21 great qualities of a Buddha, and with regard to the speech, also with 64 qualities of a speech of a Buddha. At the same time that the speech being sort of in action in benefit of sentient beings, sort of by giving teachings in an uninterrupted sort of a manner to benefit the sentient beings. In such a way, in such a level, you have to think of the body, speech, mind of the Buddha, of the deity in which one arises. So it doesn't mean that the great qualities of the mind of a Buddha is then could be given as 21 great factors, And it means that there are many groups. And the first group, and in the first group you can say there are 37 factors. So these are the 37 elements or the factors leading one to the enlightenment. In the second group we find the 4 immeasurable factors. In the third group we find the 8 perfections. So in the fourth group you find the 9 types of equipoise of the meditation. And then So there are many more the qualities of the mind of the Buddha, and if one then comes to hear these details and to study about these, to know that all of this in detail, then could serve as a special circumstance to generate even stronger kind of devotion and faith in the Buddha. But then there's no one who takes interest either in explaining or in listening, and either there's no time to listen or no time to explain. So with respect to Buddha's speech, it has 64 qualities. So with respect to Buddha's body, it has 32 major signs and 80 minor ones. So altogether Buddha has 127 the physical qualities. So if one is to collect together all the different activities of the Buddha, then one can collect them into 27 the major activities of a Buddha. So when you arise yourself in the form of the deity, then you have to think of all of those great qualities of a Buddha, like the physical quality and the quality of the speech, such as the 64 qualities of the speech, and then the 27 activities of Buddha in order to benefit sentient beings. It is not a deity which does not benefit any sentient beings.
So that
was the rough the way to generate oneself in the form of the deity, and there's not so much time to go into more details. And the fact is that there's not much time to explain, also not much time to listen. That means both the teacher and the disciples are busy. So now we have come to the second branch, which is the close practice. That is, with respect to the 3 syllables, one has to visualize 3 syllables in one's body, and the first syllable then has reference to the Buddha, the Vairochana, And the second one has the reference to the Buddha Amitabha, and third one has the Buddha Akshobhya. So we speak of the five different Buddha families, and sometimes we even speak of the 100 Buddha families, which could be gathered into 5 branches or 5 families, and that can also be reduced into 3 Buddha families, and that can also be reduced into one single Buddha family.
Rangin chuji kule zuji kuyu namba jen chang yungdu be tari mudi jen chang guwa mari susu chi tiba niya jen chang yungba naka timme la jen diwa nangshin sanje ki yishi ki machab sa meba yinza sanje ki yishi tu yishi ki kacha la kuyi chabdi wari sanje ki tu ki chabdi yu na kuyi chabdi wari kuyi na nga zui jeju yu guwa mari kudan tu nimbudi ngoji gri.
So after that, the third branch, and which is done, which is in connection with the invitation, inviting of the wisdom beings, and so for that there are 2 possible ways. The first one is to invite from the sphere of the Dhammakaya, then in the form of in the bodies with form, with visible forms. So for that, the distance does not make any difference, because that wherever Buddha's mind pervades, whatever Buddha's mind pervades, that is being pervaded by Buddha's body. Since Buddha's mind and the body are completely unified in one single nature, and so therefore it doesn't have to be visible for the ordinary eye, and in such a way that Buddha's body and mind are united and unified. So therefore one has to invite from the realm of the Dhammakaya in the different forms with visible form.
Chedong nirwa chugu nene zugu nambe chen changba longu nene chugu nambe chen changba karju ji nene chen changba yore nila karju nene chen changba mugore michoba mare ngaran su tame be sanglu tila jizan runga yusa puda la re sansan ji yore yon ripuda la san puda la ne cho ne tangi jogo le chung shi si na karju nene chen changba tanda re te chogu yore yina jizun ruma sanje yinza sanje yusa luma dire siya ke yoma chu tamje le chabni yore te muguwa che nen digiri chugu nene chen changya de be ta chen zhaya de chen changkhen de weze ki chen changwa yinza weze de tuge tamyi le weze chuyu si chabari tuga jiwun rima tuga hong yuwa dagi ta tamde kawa yore se na tuge tamde la pesha keme pesha mawa dhruchi na la tamyi hongi tsemba asi yore tamyi hongi tsemba asi yige tamche tamge lekur na la hong chushe yore til na la nizen sushe na la hong tamge tsemba achi yore hong yi di jiwo ndeba toga hong che hong yi ki til na lo jisuri me tomo mewe sabi tamdi chu yore cheda nizen na shi che na yaga yore toga tamyi di.
So then there's another way to invite the emanation, the manifested bodies of Buddha from the realm of the Sambokaya form, from the realm of the Sambokaya bodies of the Buddha, or that one can invite from any possible places, and but for the ordinary mind, that sometimes that we recite the verses of invitation, such as like to invite the deity Tara from the Buddha field Potala, and a special verse for that, for inviting that. But it doesn't mean that the Tara could be invited only from that Buddha field. Since Tara is a Buddha, so Buddhas are everywhere. It's not just sort of restricted to one particular abode or a place to invite. And for the actual invitation, one has to send rays of light from the green syllable Tom in one's heart. And for that visualization, there are 2 possible ways. The first one is one can visualize the the syllable thumb in the heart center, in the circle of that, in the tigla of that, one can visualize the blue syllable home. And then sending out rays of light from that, one can invite the wisdom beings. But according to the close instruction of the Tara, of the deity herself, it says that the best thing is one should visualize the syllable tam, the green syllable tam, in the circle of the blue syllable home, and then sending out rays of light from that to invoke the wisdom beings. So therefore one can invoke from any possible realms, such as like from the special Buddha fields for those Buddhas who remain in the Sambao form, such as like the Akanishta, special Buddha field, and one can invite from those realms of Buddha. One can invite the Buddhas in the manifest body of a Buddha, and thus one can invite from the 10 directions the countless sort of space full of deities in the manifest body of Buddha. That is the way to invite.
Lama lo su ja jizuma chen chang de na sanji chen chang de pemba yo ma re. Daga na je longu shin khang ni chen chang de sanji re re ge thoga ne be rang lama de ni sum wi jizum do ma ni sa ji ge ko chen chang go re.
So anyway, that when you invite the forms, then one should never sort of separate those invited wisdom beings, something separate from one's guru. So if one does that, then it will not be helpful. It will not help. Or that when one invites the wisdom beings from the realm of the Samakaya, that one should invite from the heart of each of those Buddha who are in the form of the Samakaya. Then one should invite the 21 Taras from the heart of each of those Buddha. One should invite at this time.
Ta dumani staji ge kor go za so de sinde na ji duman koran che kor go dumani staji de ndene ta de ye gur do song do kwa je da ye gur kor che ni de ge yo ye gur che ni nyoma ba mo shewa chen bu se jin do je namr je mo se ro chen kha ko do kha yo re da ga na yu ko do su yo na je je ba chile kha yo re le so kha du ji yo re dumani staji go ne le so ni me ra yi staji yo re 자산 주머니 자지 어디 또 주면 나주 레바티 왜 틀린 세상 그 책이 고유 나주 리다 어 차기 본바 거기 주머니 자지데 차유 오발라요 예바나 오발라요 말이 본바를 넘요 본바 되게 당 본바 되 공도 단단데 주마 가모 그 본바 가보 세보 그 본바 세보 마보
So anyway, that when you invite the 21 Taras, then you find the main aspect of the Tara is in the center, which is in a green color and with the green body, with the green body, and then surrounded from the front, the clockwise, the 20 Taras, and starting in the front the Great Peaceful One, and so forth. So each aspect has a different name, and also the different color, and holding different colored vases, and the color of the body also correspond to the color of the vase which they hold in the hand, and also they hold utpala flowers in the hand.
Tad je jayo de sanje 我们呢，见长辈那上街被龙卷做不过上街人这个头发呢，如果你去自己吃上见着，那个看光见着。去过人的见着呢，台湾讲去过嘛，小三万吧，现在把那个啥去，长来那里边那个呢吃不完，啥就那啷个听不着。我顶天是瞧就新康人家的见着吃上。所以见着呢，刚刚都记了几天，现在水那来的。如果你是自己做的这个，车上记了去过的，现在忙不得下山要嘛的。
So, so when you invite from the Afghanistan Buddha field, then you have to invite from the heart of each of those Buddhas, the 21 Taras from the heart of each of those Buddhas, invite, so that's sort of then filling all the space of those which are invited. And then when you invite from the realm of the Dharmakaya, then invite from every possible directions, from the space, from the earth, and from the space between. And so that's inviting from the 10 directions. So all the space full of those wisdom beings are invoked. But finally, all of those invited wisdom beings absorbed into one another, and finally remaining only one complete circle of the 21 Taras, because we do not have a place for them to remain in the space. So that's only remaining one complete circle above in space.
Tandela shita rubu chena ni jizu rubu kashi nyam choyo su rubu yori. Yine choyo lugu rubu nyechi tela chayon puma zindegi sheji chanyi sheji gri, sandu tong digri. Nima bebe lugu rubu tela tan ramira shecha mambu, chasen dusu shenta mira mambu yo, ndi chulo gu rubu tega ranga chigi yo. Ti nade tega nu, tega yori, tere. Tā yūdēn tēlā yé jizhēn rūma kāngā lō pēmā tā ndawē dēn kī tōla shū yō. Rūma pēmā tā nyemē dēn tōla shū pē ngā yō.
So it is said that some aspect of the Tara are with slight wrathful expressions, and so here this tradition is the tradition which follows the tradition of Atisha. So all are sort of in peaceful forms. But there is another tradition of the great Master Nyimabeva, that means that one who has completely concealed the sun. So in his tradition there were many differences of the instruments being held by the 21 different Taras. But here it's sort of the tradition of the Atisha, and so therefore most of them are then sitting on double seats of the lotus and the moon disk. And only 5 have the different seat, such as the lotus and the sun disk.
Toge dangi li wo se chu ni jian zhang ni dui ji na ha de yu cha sang ji yu ni shi sa ji ane jian zhe zhou song ne ji zhen pa ma zhu ma de qiu ju du song yu wo ye wa se ji guan ne da wei cha ji wo si cha ce li dui ji zhang de nyang bei cha ce an de ga na xin me do du be ma mi ji xie zhe se a de ma chue ba pu di ba xia o da de ma zo ba de ye la de mo pu wo ri yāla dūmbē tsōsā yāla dūmbē dzō sōna dūmbē dōnggō rē chācē nyēchī tūtū.
So what happens is that when you have invited those wisdom beings, they are not sort of immediately absorbed. So before they are being absorbed, you have to offer the 7 limb, and starting with prostrations, and in that way you have to multiply your own body into countless forms, then offering prostrations to the invited wisdom beings, and then followed by the offering of the different offerings, and then the confession and so forth. So you have to offer the 7 limbs, and then after that you have to recite the praise of the 21 praise to Tara.
근데 드만이시 자세히시 넣어야 돼. 엄마지 좀 좀 바모 전에 그지로다 나고 다 코라스 단단된 신고 매로 진이 그 신고요. 강가리 신고 말에 된된 신에 야고요. 되전에 너가 됐다. 말아서 별에는 자세면 더바게 되고 미자게 되고 아마게 아무게 되고 변해서 참면 될 신거를 주마.
Then His Holiness says that it is very helpful if one can recite the 21 phrase to Tara. If it is possible to learn it by heart, is very useful, because in Tibet that everybody knows how to recite this by heart. Not only the monks but also the lay people and even the mothers and the grandmothers, and everybody would recite this special prayer of Tara just by heart.
자세 주문이 뭐 뭐제네 계지로 올다는 지대 소무치 그사 저벌레니 조마스 주문이지 자세 주문 뭐지 좀 보면 원래 자세 주문이 뭐 바모스도 녀마 바모사 생코라라 주문 녀마 바모 제네 계지로 올다는 지대 소무치 시 그사 저벌레니 조마스
조샤 그 조샤돌
요샤요나 된나타 로주주고네 떠버려 나타 로주주고네 떠나 지대 송고 추지 셔지 그사 저월은 중에 슐로가 지게 시시게 요시 셰노멘도다.
So His Holiness says that he will explain just one shloka, just 4 lines from this 21 praise to Tara.
차세 주머니마 빠모 수 차세로 저 솔리 차세긴 있으나 주마다 녀마다 빠모 생요게 녀마야스 주마야스 그래 녀마스 그래 동마스 그래 생 자자치 요르스 가서 라부임바.
So in the first 4 lines it contains the several different names of Tara, such as like the great liberator Tara, and the one who is very fast, very swift, very quick, and one who is very brave. And it's only said that actually Tara has about 100 different names.
And the
expression of the eye of Tara is slightly sort of wrathful, and it is it has the quite similar to the light of the lightning, so slightly wrathful expression. So then in the 3rd line, then it says the Lord of the three realms of life, and so the Lord of the 3 realms is Avalokiteshvara. And then when Avalokiteshvara was residing in the Buddha field of Potala, then the great countless forms of his emanation then have benefited the sentient beings. And then at one time that he thought he might have already completed liberating all sentient beings to the state of Buddha, but when he checked, that he found that there was still a greater number of sentient beings who remained to be liberated, and as a matter of fact their afflictive emotions have become even stronger, such like the desire, attachment, ignorance, and so forth.
And
then what happened is actually the whole samsara was filled with sentient beings, and without having attained liberation. So this made him sort of feel very sad, and he started sort of crying. And what happened is the tears which fell from his eye. So in that the flower appeared up, sort of appeared.
Jide songo chuji sheji, jide songo jerezi, chuji sudu medore.
And the so-called the flower which is born from the water appeared from those tears.
Chuji sheji kesa jewalen jomuzu medode shega chene. Kesa khati chene medoge pem dama pha jam kesa kha jewale tena jizu ma chongu bare.
So when this from the water the flower which is born from the water then opened up, and all the petals sort of spread, then out of that came Tara.
And you said about the chairs, the Charanga Sinti Majes, Charanga Sinjaka Tanzabi Rong H. Osune. Only chairs a chile room at the Jumare, Maraso Jumal Sota and chairs Jello Jubal Chayore.
And then, so when she was born out of that flower, then she sort of consoled Avalokiteshvara not to feel sad about this, for not having been able to help sentient beings. She said she will give full support, full assistance in helping him in the liberation of sentient beings from their state of suffering.
Da Angineva the Jesu Makabu Chiore. Chazan Chazu took it, the Okunto Kawa Jansi Vishama Siati, Kundo Gukun Tövare. Kabu Yumya take a Kunga Chile Zoati, Dibata, Neta, Dunta, Pache Shiachiri.
And then in the second one, in the second number, is another aspect of the deity with white body, and this specializes in for the sentient beings in eradicating the negative imprints, and especially the illness and any type of obstacles.
Ta li te ka zija. Te ma shejme, nisaji de shebur kaim bachi.
So His Holiness will not go into further details, because there are many more. Altogether there are 21 aspects of Tara.
Ngale shwe medu.
Nor that he cannot tell by heart.
Ta chache shulga reerin de dunga jizu duma nisaji ko deva tela. Re de sudan suina tele randa ni ba ri chene randa tin su same mi ba chiwi na ane duma duma ko di chelo shitan ju yor pena ndero kesa jo le ni joma su de dunga ji da da ju ke jizu do zo kun de de yo ke ge nyama ba mo le randa ni ba che randa tim jinjilo daga na ye to ke da ko to ka ja ka ma to ro chi ro ba ma su de su ge kuno ka ba de le randa che randa tim. Da no ye de ne sebuji yo de che de ne ya sebuji yo de ne ma bi kanga lu tu se jedu ta ta ge ange go ji de de ro ta re ta kanga yu o de re che de ran le tin be mi ba che ne do ma nyer de cha jin de song de de na ka ze ne to de ne ya bu yo re.
So as a matter of fact, that when you recite the praise 21 praise to Tara, that each time that when you come to mention the name of one particular aspect of Tara, you should think the second form of that aspect appears and absorbs into your body. And for example, when you come to recite the first one, the second form then comes forward and will be absorbed into your body. And then after that, the one next to that, which is with white body, and the next to that is with yellow body, and next to that is yellow body, and in this way that each time that when you come to recite these corresponding names and the verses, you have to take the second forms which will absorb into your body, and through that you receive special blessings from this deity.
Tegen Rio, Demo Coron Chasha. Young Lola shaken so gay Lucy Neo, Maresia Yama. Oma Chaza Dumatari Pamo, to the range Ivoconse, to return the Malu Ravtir. So I Igila Rodu Sadan, Omotari to so Hasia, Igisanyor. This I will have to over the Chasha. Then the Druman is to over to Lolori. Then there is a young shake report of a tongue in the web. Jagala Junior Sugi. Trabata so chimbore, Riba Sabuyori. Mr. Dumo Buddhi Saros, Pesha, Pesha de Le, Yatso is so. Un chatte Dumo Tarbamu Turaji, Toritana, so you get the Shukaji the Sane, so Gitila, so Tinjil Dumo Buchi has the Passan, Shashak, Tinsa, South Junior, Yamamu, that is look at in Hamubo. And this seven height over the Chasse Duman Yimare. Duman Yim is a Pesha, Duman Saru Chiaramato. Seven height of a Sarucha Maritina, the Guma, Tartaru de San Digroti. Seven height did it.
So,
Tene Dujin do Dina Caton Jukai, Meconas, Guashi Sagiri, Peshala Salto in Edra.
So the so in this way that with this visualization of absorbing into one's body the second forms which come forth from the visualized beings, then one can recite either 2 times or 3 times or 7 times. So anyway, that when you come to the end, then you have already recited 1 time, and then it is said that at the end of the text, thus that you offer the praise with the root mantra. So that is an expression that you find at the end of this special prayer of 21 Taras. And then there's another sort of a version which says that this line, this special reference, this is special sort of reference to another shloka, which is not to be found in that, which is just Rinpoche had recited with 4 lines, and the people say that is the way to offer praise and compliment to Tara with the root mantra. And so that is why that many in these days there has been sometimes cases that the people making a request to the Sangha to recite 100,000 times of the 21 praise to Tara, based on the offering of the praise of the root mantra. So then they have done the short one with only 4 lines. In that case, they can finish 1 hour the recitation of 100,000 times. So it is sort of very much simplified. And His Holiness cannot say that this is done correctly if one does like that. Tari jiba chimbusi yore, dudara jiba kari chisi yore, singri singli yore. Ta ina tsu mukudu ya, tsu kari ji kari she ju yushu. Ta li duma tsa kaze tungi nida, rangda chebe miba che tu na che, ma tu ne kyan yo mari, cha se teba chen dun sha digi yore, che lo chi shuni yungu de. And if one can visualize the absorption of those second forms from the visualized being, it will be better. But even if that one is not able to do that, one can nevertheless recite this 21 praise to Tara with full devotion.
Dombe ndire tabu ko koma lo santebe jense ki sung dire tetone be so tab tone abu yo ta pyoge ma sha ko ma cha na so shita shita ra da men ta de tene jire te cha na gar chen mende phyu gore so ga je tongi ne to mende ji phyu. And then after this particular visualization, then there's a special prayer written by one of the first Tafu Rinpoche, and its name is Matisora, and a special prayer by Tafu Matisora, and one can recite that, and this is about 7 pages, 7 smaller pages in Tibetan, and after reciting that prayer, then one can offer mandala. Mende sombo duma ta sombo nyanga ma pyo song ya jisung ku sung le chung yo re ten za nyanga ma te san de na yo re ge so hamu je ti yo ma re. So then the Tara herself has taught the offering of the mandala. This could be done just the mandala with 7 hips or with 25 hips. So these 25 hips you find here in the sadhana, the long sadhana of Tara Cittamani, in which the 8 goddesses are missing.
And also such as like the little the mountain which is made of jewels. So these four are also missing from this mandala with 25 hips. And also you find the jewel umbrella and as well as the great banner. So these two are also missing from this mandala. And so when you actually count the hips and this mandala, there are only 23 hips, and then to that you have to add two more. This one is the fence around. And then in addition to that, the golden ground. The golden ground is also added to that. So that makes it then 25 hips of the mandala. And also the great master Rinpoche, that when he went into that long practice at Oka and offering countless mandalas, he did it based on these 25 hips of mandala. And the system of putting these 8 goddesses in the mandala was made. This edition was made by a great Sakya master, Dongye Chuja Papa, and he took it out from a special the puja special rite of the Buddha Kunri. So he took from that sadhana and then put it in the offering of the mandala. This another choice is to offer the very simple form of mandala, which has only 7 hips. And the way to do this, to offer with 7 hips, is the usual the sholoka, the line that everybody know by heart, the Sajipiji Shuichi Madhura, and with that one can offer the simple form of mandala with only 7 hips. And in that the golden ground will not be counted as one separate heap. And then so in the seven heap, that the Mount Meru as one heap, and then 4 continents, the 5, and then the sun and the moon, the 7, the 6.
Chachu Simba Tatunguke, Chachu Simba Chivalo, Shiraji Parichimba Shuyokudu, Tangu Sun Imbari, Hema.
So this line, this lines that we recite to offer the mandala with 7 hips was said to have been composed by Bodhisattva Tatungu, that when he received the teachings from his master Bodhisattva Chupa.
What a mende pu sa son jedu kar phugi ne pu te pu san ti shu den de bu che mende kar sa tu sun di shi ji bu ji sun tu ji ti da gi di kar sa ti ta ma di chi chi le so
te sun de she she be yum sa
ji sun tu ji ti che me da gi di jon ji ma ai da me re da ga re le me do te sun di shi ji be yum ji sun tu ji ti me da gi di ji ma ai da ri ma tu son ci deve essere battaglie ci be yondo ci be ci sono che ne diri jan rocis che ma su di nyata be che be o de bevere o de so da diri jan ro na so da bere so da be jenje te da so da be chayu senzo ge chajan zebe chayu chabjen ji chajan zebe senzo ne yo ga be bogu tu so zamba shi narji chu su di chayu do se wa ko jo so so ji chaja je bere Sela Maku Nindi Song Gojo Song Tsumari. Sanji Chu Ginuji Gojo Song Al Song the US, Jamnanga Tatu Nai Yin Soyak Dari. That Javjins the Maguzi Chigori. Charanjiba to the Nature which a shame of Gosiati, who you met Chajari. Jabjin Zebe Senzo is the Senla Zugudi, Zugu Sela Tenala, Karabuchi Chuni. Buguchens to Kotung, Kabo Kotung Jeji, Rangichu, some shoe. Tena the Zikabo, Major Double Pod, Legion Hong did it Tam Johnny, Lucy Yadabata, Chosu, some Vache.
So after offering the mandala and whatever way that one wishes, either the 21 hips or the 7 hips, whatever, after that one has to make the request for the purification, for the blessing, and at that point you should concentrate on the left hand, the gesture which symbolizes the 3 jewels, and so which is not very much sort of raised into the space but slightly bent towards oneself, and from the tip of the 3rd finger then white rays of light come forth, and with sort of empty inside, and through the empty inside then flows a lot of rays of light and nectar to one's body, and one's body is completely filled and all the impurities are cleansed through that.
That is the major dirija Mibaya Tajin Ruyori. This Sane, Corrigi Dumani Shizaji with the Hatsumulatim.
And after after this purification, then the 20 taras around the central figure then gradually dissolve into the central figure.
That Zumo de Ralama Timbo, that Yeshiva Tansibal Timburwa, Zumo Yarala Tim, Nisamajan, Za, Hum, Banhos, Za, Sudu Zumo de Rangatola, Metola Mitzibur, Hum Sudu Matim, Bam Sudu Yemeto, J, Horse de Be, Miniba Meba, J, Gento, de Omeba, Temper Jube, Mibachi, Gu, Shu, Jin, Nis, That is one.
So after that, even the figure also will be dissolved into one's body, and with the recitation of this 4-syllable mantra, Jang Pong Ho, and when you recite Za, then this will descend. This central figure will descend into your body, and when you say the syllable Hum, then it enters into your body, and when you recite Po, and then it is sort of being united with oneself, and when it's recite Ho, then it's completely united with oneself in a way that is not to be separated from each other. In an inseparable way, it's united.
Rubayala Tela, Neruyala Tela, Nasu Yusungo, Neruyala Ishiva Gentran, Timba Tindison, that Ruba Chimbuyala, Wongo Jida Chijure.
So the Rinpoche had spoken before the 4 branches of the practice, and the first 3 are complete in the way that we have arisen ourselves in the form of the deity, and after that in the 2nd branch that we have placed those 3 syllables, and after that in the 3rd branch that we have invoked the wisdom beings and absorbing them into one's body. So now in the 4th branch we have to invite the empowering deities and then get our heads being crowned by the Lord with family. So after these, again one has to send out rays of light from the syllable and heart, and inviting the empowering deities of the Buddha Amitabha family, and so the So here, with respect to the aspect of Tara which belongs to Anuttara Yoga Tantra, then it cannot it cannot belong to the lotus family of the Buddha. But when the aspect belongs to the Kriya Tantra, then it belongs to the lotus family of the Buddha.
That chöba figure, wala chen ran nakala. Pensa kola sabari ora agan badi bibe duwa alle. Shada badi zama soas chuni nyeje rumuda jeba pyu.
And after inviting the empowering deities, then one has to make the usual sets of offerings with 2 waters and so forth.
Pensa kola sidi ngari. Kola ne ongi thari.
And
Kola ri imbari.
and on Pensacola, Pensa means the 5, and then the Kola is the family, refers to the family.
Ri nga koda jebala pyuche. Ha chöba pyu san dishin shiva tani dangama ongo du su swada onguro nasi shori.
And then after the usual offerings, then one makes the request for the empowerment, for the blessing.
Tene ongo thade na jibe zo yawari nga na rinjung ba me toyo juba micho ba je ri nga bo tige zo nga gi ongo gomaze yung ji ta yung nga no gu jire yung ji chema da mama ke da gu ga mo da drama jire jiga na ni mama ke de zo ge yung lai ru re rinjung go yung lai ru re 다 강들에 그 시합 제고면도 다 알리 장고 초루야 유산나 고셔 숨고 다 용하게 bomba dizi 강강 캐네 랑지 좀 하세요 지원은 초루네 디지 초루네 온고 거래 온고야 돼 내려가 제가 담은 제 디지식을 다 이전에 오마사도가 아비가서 시리 아모세아디 코노스 오마라 수고 숭구숭구라 베 오마라 강가로게 베 초데 냐디라 하루 부르제네 랑고 지오니 추루고 수도 온고 메바체 온고 고고 주마다 추 라마야 르네 오바메지 우제메 메바체.
So here at the time of the actual empowerment, you should think that the 5 lords of the family, such as like the Varuchana and Akshobhya, Ranasambhava, Amitabha and Amagasiddhi, so they sort of then remain sort of in concentration on act of giving of empowerment, and the actual empowerment is being offered by the consorts, the goddesses, such as like the Lochana, and then the Mamaki, and Pandara and Tara. So then they hold in their hands the white vases filled with nectar, and then offering the actual empowerment to oneself by reciting the verses which says that just at the time of the birth of the Buddhas, then the special type of water is being offered. So likewise that we are offering this water empowerment to you. So in that way that they start to offer this empowerment, and in which that one's body is completely filled with the nectar, and all the impurities are completely cleansed, and that one is adorned with Buddha Amitabha.
랑게 라마이자 라마조데 어바메이자 신예된 수급에 내 돈베 제도 어바메 내어메와 랑게 지우르다가 수도 배 존에 신예된 수에 내 돈바 인수.
So actually the reason that why one's head is being crowned by Buddha Amitabha is not to show that this particular aspect of Tara belongs to the lotus family, but rather the fact that when Tara was still in the training as a bodhisattva, then the Buddha Amitabha was as her spiritual sort of a guide. So from the point of view of the practice of a guru devotion, then that the body of the head of the deity Tara is crowned by Buddha Amitabha. It is only from that point of view, not from the the distinction of the family.
On go can get on over me, George very Jawringa, Yonda Java on good Sani, Rala Martin, over me Uje, Tia de la Younger Shake, Ridal Timber, Timber Soya your show usually. In a so Rala Tine. Babu Bogatanjan and Rangi, Yanga, Mishiva the Timber Mivaja, and Zoring Tobaji, Major Yisungu.
So after the empowerment has been received, then those empowering deities have to be absorbed into one's body, and some have said that this should be dissolved into the little the body of the Lord of the family on the crown. But actually, and more correct, then one should absorb it through all the part of the body, and then finally absorbing it into the indomitable point in the heart center, because thus then and through these one leaves special imprint for later the development of the completion stage.
That is a Rucheng Elazo. That Gender Pusuba in La Segurita, Gender Pusuba, Chutu David, Najula Sun Siadi, Dandela Tava Juji Mari, Chutun Juji. Doma Jitenji Yune Zebadan Chutumba Chutu Jeva. Not a Yandaban Jubadan Chutumba, Majeda Senan Duba. Sungu Chungu Godan Tumba Deva Jevas, Sanjay Jiten to Chun do any bear. Sanjay Jiten to Chumba Yinza, and the Congologata Jig Shen Yigishan, Sanjay Jiten to Jono, Chuju Kolo Sia Datu, Siziba to Chavan Rusia within the Citizen, that's how setting Salasun de Chavano, Nebeba, then Jiten Sun to Trasia. Kashik said Jiten Sun Sizile Gone, Sizile Diot and Anjo Tassidon, Yonji, Jiten Sun Sia Sao setting Salasun. The Chaba Trabala, then Enjideva Samaga Yunenze, Sanjiga Yunjun Leto, Suna Sayaga Dodala, the Sunyunze, Nidamba Sunyu Puati Churne, Suna Jachimbo Sovanongiori. Then Naji Chebapu, Round Hale Sevala Chebapu, Round Bambana Sanjani, the Sameji Chebala Lungjube, the on Juturi, Jutungu Jury. Dana in Jidena, young Sanjay Jidin the Johnson, Siakangolo Sanjay the Turbachi. Dana Cheba the Turbachi. Young Sanjay Nanda Yandaban Josia Yandaban Julu to the New York, the one Sulu de la Yandaban Josia de la Gobashi, Kayamasoma, Kavayu, Chokujuba, Chokuju is a Kavaju Devat. Kusim now they were Yandaban Josi. Or didn't turn but to Nichirin Gumia did it. Then I choose soon, but I miss the choose soon at some Sanjay choose soon. Choose, but she knew they are all choose somebody. Then I tell my heart on, they were jet. That is jet, cheering woman, cheering legato. Or that is jet schedule. Then not the Yadaban Juba Tumba, cheering go at the Shibushe to me, Michel. Chozo Gula Gachi, Magun Shage Mewachi.
So the the next point is a part which contains the making of the usual offerings, and as well as the offering of the praise, and then the recitation of the mantra. So then this is explained with respect to the with respect to Buddha. When he appeared in this world, then he he turned the wheel of Dharma. He set the wheel of the wheel of Dharma in motion. And so that act, that great deed of the Buddha was then known in all the three great realms of life, and on this earth, and even to the very peak of the psychic existence, the great deed of the Buddha is heard everywhere, because it was such a great deed to benefit a great number of sentient beings. So in a similar way, that that one then comes to accumulate merit through making offerings. And then the second one is that when Buddha appeared, there were a lot of people who have made offerings of the praise and the compliment, seeing the Buddha's special qualities. They have made a lot of praises of Buddha. And then third one is that to remain in a meditative stabilization of the Buddha, and that is when the special form of the Buddha, such as like the Nimanakaya form, when the Buddha takes a sleep, then usually it looks like that he's taking a sleep, but usually he remains in meditation. He remains in a very deep samadhi and a very deep meditative stabilization. And as a symbolic of that we have the meditation on the body mandala, and then another way of benefiting sentient beings is by Buddha's teaching, and that comes through his speech, and through that a lot of sentient beings are being helped through his speech. And a symbolic of that we have the practice of reciting the mantra, and all of these are the very essence of the practice which belong to the generation stage of the tantra.
Ta chöte chevala yang sungule nachu jinji lawu siade ma jibe de siaba de chöte de mare nachu jin lawu de yegda le chen le che yo yin za mo re yin na nachu jin le kasin shu jung yo mare ni de da she jung yo mare de zan de she shan de yo re nachu ji dan de lo re ya e ali long de dan sha.
So here when you make the offering, so first that you have to bless the offering, so that can be done only from the in offering. So therefore His Holiness had not explained yet how to bless the in offering. So therefore he will explain here in what manner that you have to generate and to visualize the in offering and its blessing and so forth.
Niwa jene vasu soba chodyon debe nejo la song chu jinji la bacha de no chu duji kanya rongwar dezi ribu tabar woge torma chenlab le chongwa tara amite kha jue jimen rangi wen hinge saben de chu dezi chi baba de mo zhi de duji la nebeski na cha che ji wu chu chimbu de ba jen do jang ren do zhe bara sam so ba kha jue jimen duji ne de be ting dong nie chen be ta me jin tang xian de de zhe ji那他现他到东北来讲，东北嘛里边在那边，在东北说那天年，阳光学的就弄个经过了，呀，有位让先讲过大个嘛，年到揭开上个月都出单吧，对，都让马步年到来就没经过，八月让先马步住松吧，数据让个都。揭开到看到钱吧，你就古木到看到钱吧，对，都我们阿红干嘛听送的，就我们那边几个送的，都阿里就一些个吧，人家说确实的有我有个多是俺这些我也，那我看我们看按照红那么来的人啊，咱们现在有那么说，也个多有俺一些我也我老妈帮当帮来想啊，我有明白在那说的用一些，就是有的时候就是吧。Samla Umawa Lan Songji Jinji Lava, then Choba Jinji Lava Jang Yung Zang, Go Chokuzam de Ruji, Da Jinji Choba Lami, Me de Nachuni, Tipsinji Torishin Amidegi, somewhat of Suba, Tomajama Su, Kondar La, Tumangal, Cheva Ranayam, Gamle, Toba, Yanshin Jachevano, the Lungishi, Raji, who really showed the joint Chuyan So, Choja Naraji, Tony and about Choja So, Jele Umudu, Umusudi, Susur, the Vachimishi Cheverjin. Jebe Nova Chavana, Nova no Vichaber Sunday, Jubra Sala, Aga, Ahum Badi, Ahum Baza, Bibi, Ahum Shisuj, Maju Jinju, Dar Hada Chaja, the thing is the Sunday Jinja Lava Teang, come near Kavala, me, Tamuta, Tamuta, Telegema de me, Tamutan, Tamani, Media Paja, Samjitan, the Telegema, Raji, Mavati, Tumbe, Gali, Chabada, Nacho, So, Jabana, Tumba, Tenjo, to Shabata, me, Tamutelegema, the Tenjo, Tumba, Shabala, so sharing Zu Tumba, Zu, she so, Sumba, Jovaleja, Mutumas, was what, Marabayam, Cheda, Tenzu, so, Tony Shibati, Navaji, the Jamu, the Java, Shibata, Jayari, so, and Jabala, so, Papa, Yonale, Mato, Sumbada. Nana Sumbatara Ome Tavesani Chebara Jin Tomba Ino, the Mazatoni, and the Jimuri Kolo Jeva, Jimuji Kolo, Tombara Duvaya Samene, did have a co-guation, the Daya Gombe Tar Tara Zorin Jiko, so we say Jimiko, Jumiko, we said to Juba, the Jivili, Tabejo, Sakurishimata, Tini, Sondo, Juba, Soba, the Melube, Lamdici, and Taji, Tamje. Tena Jam, Tangja Cheverjan, Tena Jam, Herje, Tedavina, Leon, the She Sugar Sume, Yala Jane, imitated a surgeon, Savan, did a condo Chever Jaguso. Tene Onga, Teneronga, Ninga, chola trude oma ayatara shesoji jinjilabi choba longde danye lara jeba la pyowe ombo susu yudu de shenche ejime tele susun diwe ngor choba da lu chona de don nye ngeba so chona de don nye ngeba so chobe ngo chebar jen jo la chombara sam lara yarangi nyingane lamorodu jama trude oma ayatara sabar oma ahon she drube na she che duzini 주대 표에 최배 모두도 미시제 버려서만 되더라 다지지 라라 최바 예바도 표고에 되면은 되고 선지 사회 용다 실례 농저 용수 다바다 나바 되고 표에 너무 모두 매바주에 너무 공도 매바주에 셔로 니바도 봐 니바랑 인간도 되고 너무 제일라 찾으면 봐도 매바주에 되면 자유 그런 되게 다게 새로운 루벨라 시소 제도 शेषुजी समसु युने जुजी देबे 동 देबे 모두 이시버 지주라 지버섬 최진의 되게 섬나 진게 섬나 도 니번의 송을 해서 이거 나라를 지면 나도 이면 지자만에 봐 주고 요거에 대해 제리 조이 게 시라 셰소마다라 섬들 대마다다데 발람이 주버라바다 저기 지리 주발라네도 되시 고베 주는데 발람 주바 이노 대야 토마르 지리 라바고네 대 다르치마나 지리 처물라주 라바고발라 오 지고라 대니 세나 주바다 주고라 대니 내천 젬바 대가오냐베 가제란 주바 대야 라제메베 섭신이 소라라바 진나 딩게 차디다 고나 오게 차디란 주바남 나라 니와네도 누구바 니세레 송시메 지리지 중치모 달리자 대샤도 송베 고고바지도 네데다게 냐뉴도 로라라라 라레모르장도 고나 셴네 토방호도 송어이나 지리지베 세나다 네차 가시 메바 루자 대다른 호도 마송어 마송의 지리 그 원들이 셴네 루고시 대야 지리한테 제린 라발라데 니면 호도 셴네 지토바도 대지 지리 처물라데 셴네 신이바도 고주수 메데지 셰바라 잠레 중수모 의달리 니방아 보데 제제데메 줄리 좀 셰송바다르 라체지 신네 제거 니지다 요바다란데 냐게 데 중화다란데 니바르 랑니 좀 고신 대거 사이네 주로 공부 배모치 대버장을 저서 려발리 가지서 세나라 냐뇨 너바 조 메제지 가시게 냐뇨 너바 그냐 슈클 지정 제리디 예태도 태랑도 강송지 초벌제대 미나 중국 제발리 랑치지 선네 되자고바 마셰베 제리메 라바장라야 뇨 어터마이니 무가마다라주 줄바세도 랑치지 신네 주주니는 자고라마송고 바치고 의타니 사건도 고리소 파베중 파유지중 치모나리베 송베 딩제 로체제네 나마 공지네 라네도 철수된 베명아 섬물라나메 바이멘데네 소마남 소마다르 조나 중 치모다 되메 딩제 최대 제신 최대 제라 대야제 라신유의 최주신다 제리 제보도 파베 섬네 투모모인 바다니 네바니에도 다시 하시고 있다. 지리로는 걸어놓은 기어를 배실 지리르다니 되마. 다 산이 뱀마 말ပဲ. 산이 쇼게 자제 나제 추석군이 뭐다 쳐가래. 문이르베. 어디 자제 두셔나이 소 추석이 대바 주네 아니 그래가 도나 차가 말어와신 마사바 인자 양 영고제를 소금에 넣어서기 양 영고제를 잘하게 조금만 더 주는 게 산이가래야 렌제로지 되냐 산이 마사는 요샤 조마도 봐요 조사시 대버로도 조원도 저 맞아봐라 조원 인스 지라 제베 저라 동사시 저는 신수래요 디멘션 지고 말이 조원도 저제제 디차네는 뭐 리코드마 제는 리그레디언디 리안 배 야자니에 거치는 두수 파파죠. 요마셔리 페마제 살리르 제미마선이.
So His Honours will stop there for today, and he will continue tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, and then it will take the like usual finish around 1 o'clock, and then he would like to continue again after a little break, and if anybody will not have time to come for the last session, and then they should sort of then tell His Holiness they won't have time, and in that case he can continue to finish that sometime after. And after the initiation of the Chu, which has to be given on Sunday because it has already been announced, so people are coming to receive that, and then in that case he will find time after the Chu initiation to continue from the whatever it will be left to be explained from this. No.
Dagi Chinye Save Gyovani Tembe Nyambo Rindo Se